Diana? All right. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday, October 13th, and this is Shabbat. We are ka-chunking our way through Friday night today, and a part of our next class, which is going to be next week, will be we will finish with Friday night and move along. So, Lisa, you had a question? Okay, that was drying your hand. Okay, hi there. Right. What we are working on right now is the third Friday night Nusach. It almost seems a little quirky that we should have in one simple Friday night service four entire different Nusachs with different scalar stuff and different motifs and all of that. And on the other hand, if one is the master of this material, then you can wield it creatively. Because the fact is, I don't expect very few of us are going to be in such a full-on heavy-duty all Hebrew service that you're going to be doing all of this all of the time. It's just a question of having the material so that you can bring it out as enrichment for all of the other stuff that I expect you're going to be doing in your various shuls, with all of their various stripes, kinds, and aesthetics. So this is Friday Night Marav number 1, otherwise known as my Friday Night Minor number 2. This is the Baruch, the Shema Uverchoteha Nusach would be probably a better name for it. Okay, before we dive into everybody getting to sing a whole lot, let's open O3A for a second. We hadn't really gone into this much. I was kind of like avoiding it because I didn't want to mess with your heads too much. In O3A, if you take a look at the third line from the bottom, motif number 11 is a truly odd little musical bit. The rest of this is it's all pretty obvious. Now I'm sure everybody has a pretty good feel for all of this because it's one of the more familiar things, and you've been doing the homework. However, this little motif can throw people. It's just part of the game, and I'm not going to analyze and say, oh, it's related to this, it's related to that. I'm not sure what it's related to, but this is what it is. Okay, so for instance, if you were to start with motif number 10, everybody got that? I assume you have that. Okay, which is Yom bum ba 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 bum. Da da, we know that. Ya da 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 da, ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da, and then bum ba 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 bum. Totally out of left field. Then it goes yum. Excuse me, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do 10, 11, and 12 in a row, just so you can hear it. Yum bum ba 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 yum ba 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 ba. So essentially, this little bit here is part of the setup for a chatima. It's a pre-chatima thing, and as we've discussed, there's lots of Nusach cadences, like the end of the end phrase of something has typically a partner, a setup phrase that goes with it. So there's ya ta 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 sets it up for ya ta 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 amen. Right. This is a very early setup, and I'm gonna run out loud right now. Chart O3B, setting number 1. Rachel, is that a hand?
Yeah, just a quick question before we move from
Yo.
03A.
Uh-huh.
So the D, the note D at the end of measure 10, are you saying that that is actually the pickup for the
Yeah, oh, that is the pickup.
phrase?
So yeah, that's the pickup to 11,
Okay. So
right?
we shouldn't include it in like the 10
No,
phrase.
no, 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 no. 10 would be ya ba 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 ba. Breathe. Ba ba ba. Good
Thank you.
point. Ideally that should not be a bar line. It should be a dotted bar line, so that that is definitely part of it.
Okay.
Good point. Thank you. Okay, so um, taking a look, I want to chart 303B, and then I'm going to let you guys run around it, and I'm going to do it fairly fast because I just want to get to measure 8. ומעביר יום ומהביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני המריב הרבים. That is where that the out of scale motif fits in. So if you take a look at measure 8, measure 8, 9, and 10 is kind of like a long setup for Baruch. That's essentially the best way I can describe the way it works. So having done all of this, let's have a little bit of fun. I've got to let's see. At the top of my screen is Rachel, and then after that is Lisa. And the step one of the assignment was pick something from the O3 B, D, and E, and daven.
Okay, I chose the first setting of O3D.
Okay.
Who froze Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haporesh Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'yokol Amo Yisrael Ve'o Ve'o Yerushalayim.
Right. Yeah, amen. Beautiful. Rachel, could you please do just the very, so basically this one starts with the setup for Baruch. It's like if you're finishing off Hashkivenu, and by the way, a general rule also, if you're finishing off something, whatever's been going on, whatever anybody has been doing, and then you are in finish mode because there's a Chatima, okay? The classical way of doing it is not to go straight to Baruch, but to prepare it with whatever little phrase, however long you want to do it, before Baruch. So Baruch isn't suddenly just sort of flat in your face there. There's a little build up to Baruch. That's the classical way to do stuff. And I'm not going to describe what you do. You could be doing anything. People could be doing movement and kavanot and instrumental music, whatever it is. But if you're finishing off a section that has a bracha at the end, do something first. So that's what this does. Okay, Rachel, could you just do that first thing again? I want to make sure you hear the pitches.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Good. Um, uh, I'm going to. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Nice low range. All right. I'm gonna. This is. This becomes the art of the possible at a certain point. Alan, what do you want to do here? Everybody take a look at Shabbat 03A again, please. And motif 11, the weird one. And honestly, I I like to do it with you see there's an F natural bum 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 ba 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 ba, which to me works modally. It's a little more successful, but I've heard it. And I have it in there just in case, because that's what kind of you were leaning to. Ba 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 ba. Honestly, I don't dig it. I think it's a bit of a cheat note, but it's been done enough by enough people that I had to add it in there as one possible option. Hope everybody sees that. If there are no further questions, Lisa, what you got for us?
Okay, I have the first one of Shabbat 3b.
Great. Okay, and then Lauren, you'll be up next.
Uma avirio, umehevi laila, umavdil ben yom, uven laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo, El Chai Vikayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu, Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavi.
Amen. Yeah, lovely. Okay. Let's get our twinkle fingers ready here because everybody's doing good work. Yeah. All right. Fine. Let's just roll around the room. I'm going to ask people for what their experience of handling the material is later on. Lauren, then Rhonda.
Okay, I did Shabbat 03E, the end of Hashkivenu.
Oh, three, you boy. Hey, yeah, I'm working with two different screens and I still can't find it. I got it. Okay, yeah.
Ufros aleinu sukkot shelomecha baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom aleinu v'al kol hamo Yisrael haporei sukkot shalom aleinu v'al kol hamo Yisrael ve'ol
Whoops.
Yerushalayim
Ve'al. Yeah, thank you. Amen. You notice that these settings there seems to be a yum pum pum ya ta ta ya ta ta ya ta ta. That's part of the feel of the Nusach, right? Other minor Nusachs don't necessarily have that, but this is one of those aspects. And honestly, I don't know where this melody comes from. I didn't write it. It's been around here and there. It might be Kachko's. And the only comment I will make here is that you could have slowed it down just a little bit, because you've and also this is another famous watchword: emphasize the downbeats if you want to pull people along with you. Rhythm is your friend. Haporei sukkot shalom. You've got those signifiers coming every couple of beats. Okay, could you just do that for us for 1 second? Just pick it up where it says tempo and do a couple of measures. I want to hear you do that.
Apore sukat shalom.
Yeah.
Aleinu
Yeah.
v'yakolam.
Yeah. Okay. See that everybody agree with me, please. That makes me want to join in.
I'm
Yay.
still in that, performative hi-ho mode.
Well, what
Gotta get back into the
performative?
Shabbat mode.
What performative? Who, us? Never. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, actually, what you can see is this is a nice little microcosm of classical Nusach and communal singing. Okay, it begins as with the solo voice, and it ends with the solo voice, but it also contains a communal stuff, which is this serves what our big long-term view is to build communal energy with the dynamic of the leader and congregation. Right? If go ahead.
That's why I picked this one, because I was looking through them and I was like, this one I could see trying to teach pieces of it to the congregation. Maybe not quite all of it, but
oh, you just do
for
it
my
every Friday night.
congregation anyway.
Do it every Friday night for 6 months, and they'll have it down.
We'll get it.
Just when you're getting tired of it. Okay. I didn't say that. Moving right along. Okay, Rhonda, then Caitlin.
Okay, well, I did Shabbat 3E as well.
Okay.
Uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael haporei
You're in dominant chord. Ha-pores.
haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'ol Yerushalayim.
Amen. Yay. All right. Nice work. Yeah. Notice one thing, by the way, Rhonda, you could have slammed those downbeats a little bit harder, right? Ay, 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 ay. Okay, yeah, let's face it, it works. It's not very subtle, but it works. Okay. Also, just everybody noticing the part of the way this particular melody works is it's got in measure 10 and 11, it's got those C sharps. Ay, 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 which almost sounds like Frege, but it isn't, because then in measure 14, yam ba 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 bum ba 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 ba. There's a little part of the emotion of it is driven by the contrast of those notes. We're going to see stuff like that later on, a whole lot. So, Caitlin, then Ariel.
I worked on both. I worked on 3B, number 1 and 2. 2 is more of a challenge, and there's a couple places that are still pretty messy. Do you want to hear an attempt at this?
Yes. Let's go for messy. That's 3B measure 15, yes?
3B measure, yes, sorry, number 2, starting from measure 15.
Start low. Watch out, because it goes up. If something has a tessitura, it lays up really high, you don't want to have to, strain. So start nice and low. It's a low
I dropped it down. It's the diminished triads that are my Waterloo, but we'll give it a try anyway.
Well, get out there and have fun. Thou shalt have fun.
All right, fun shall be had.
Whoa, whoa, but you ba 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 ba. That's all it is.
Adonai tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayim
Ah, oh man, nice work. Okay, I'm not sure what's with your microphone. You sounding part of the time you sounding a little underwater. Sorry.
It's very directional, and so if it's not
Okay.
like right in my
Okay.
face, it sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Okay, not a problem. We could hear you though. It's okay. Yeah. This is. Listen. This is probably pert near as far as you can stretch the basic nusach without it getting just a little too foo-foo, right? And or too precious or too mannered. We don't want to go there just because we want to do cool music, you know? And some of this is. Let's just take a look at the construction of this for a second. The first line, yum ba 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 bum bum ba 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 ba. Okay, right in the scale. Okay, then yum ba 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 bum. That ya ba ba is a hint of the that out of time lick. Okay, it's a melodic minor term, but it don't look like it. And then yeah, Adonai, it's about Shemo. It's basically right in the Nusach scale, only it has bigger jumps, which which drive the interest in the listening ear. Okay, and the next thing is it's in the scale, but it's fourths. Yam bam ba ba ba. Ba-ba! Okay, it's actually a stack of fours. Yum bum bum ba 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 bum ba yada da 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 yada da 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 yada yada da 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 1 da 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 da. Okay, the thing to note here, is you've got a 5-note group in measure 23, and then a 7-note group. Right? And the question always is with multi-note groups is where your accents are going to be on the inside of the group. Okay, and you did it fine, but I'm just pointing out to everybody in this particular case, the 5-note group would be 2 and 3. Yeah, pa 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 pa. Which is not always the case, but in this case it's 2 and 3. I mean, the other possibility is 3 and 2, but not here. That's already a signifier. You want to lean on that first note. Right? And then in the 7-note group, okay, curious, Caitlin, where do you think it would break up? How would you break it up?
Sorry, the 7 group?
Yeah.
I would do 4 and then 3.
Makes sense. I mean, there's obviously with 7 you can do 4 and 3, 3 and 4, or something else. I'm not sure what. Yeah. 2 3 2 is one option, but nah. It's ya ta 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 ta. Right, and still the first.
Because I feel like the small 3 inside the 7, they're like prefigured expanded 3 after that.
Right. So exactly that. Right. Good point. And by the way, you rushed that a little bit. Those are more like quarter note. Those stemless notes. There, you can do what you want because they're stemless, but ideally they should stretch. For the 7-note group, the first note is an accent, and then you got kind of a sub-accent, a secondary accent, in the 3 at the end. So it's ya ta 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 ta, yam pam pam pam. Okay. Caitlin, could you do that for us? I just wanna hear you do it. Le'olam, just that little bunch. Nice, thank you. Okay, and everything else just flowed very nicely. And as you guys can see, I happen to be partial to large intervals. I think they make the congregational experience more interesting. This is not typical of Middle Eastern music. Okay, realistically, Middle Eastern music doesn't usually go for the big jumps. The modality might be very much the same, but the style and the feel of this is, it's Eastern European, affected by composition classes in Northeast America. So. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Ariel, then Kevin.
Okay, I'm doing the first setting of O3B.
Okay.
Umavir yom umevi laila umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai Sevahot Shemo Echai v'kayam Tamid yimloch aleinu Le'olam amen Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv haravim.
Ome, nice. Okay, now let's sing the I'm gonna say let's sing the words and not so much the music. But no, you're doing good work. Okay, listen. Measure 8 is the weird motif. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. You rushed it a little bit because that second note, you'll notice it's a stemless note. It needs to stretch a little bit. It's not ba 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 ba.
Yeah, I was practicing it like that and then
That's
I
okay.
forgot.
Yeah, well, no problem.
Forgot.
Okay. Okay, so do it again, just that one little bit.
Just from El Chai?
And just El Chai v'Kayam.
Okay. El Chai v'Kayam.
Right. Yeah. Okay, got it. By George, I believe she's got it. And also, measure 11. This is written whereas as a it's a bit of a, like, is it an emotional sponge or it's a something, but this is one of those places where, when you are saying Baruch Atah Adonai, you don't just sort of rush through it.
Yeah.
Because those are very big words.
Mm-hmm.
They're very important, each one of them, right? So this is where we could really kind of mine. It's kind of like a slow signifier. It's not just Baruch Atah Adonai. This is not a conservative shul. Right? Baruch Atah Adonai. Do me a favor and just do that one little bit. Okay, I just like you do really Baruch Atah Adonai, not just the notes.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Ah, that feels like a brocha. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Kevin.
I'm doing Shabbat 3E, the end of Hashkivein. Ufro salenu sukat shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai Hapore sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael Hapore sukat shalom עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, now,
I cheated a little bit.
I'm hearing myself.
I was gonna, I cheated a bit because I was gonna sing it a little faster, so I stole Lauren's note about singing.
No, that's okay. Is everybody hearing me double? Okay. Kevin fixed something. Thank you. Whatever that was. Right. Just a couple of quick thoughts, Kevin, is measure 10 and 11. Those are sharped fourths. You see those C sharps. Your pitch, that what you do in shul. I mean, it's still, we'll always say amen to the bracha, but we're being picky here. Okay. Your pitch was a little under it. Sounded a little closer to a C natural. And he says, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Okay, and because it's a kinky note in the stringy notes, you actually want to put a little more zing onto the note, short of calling it completely marcato. You've got to go Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ay, ay, ay. You want to really emphasize that. That's a nice little signifier there. Okay? Mm-hmm. Also, the last bit, ve'al, the finale, I would take a little bit more time and just let the thing, some of these phrases are, it's a little like, you're holding a bird in your hand and you're not going to hold it. Okay, you're going to let it sit in your hand and it's going to spread its wings and it's just going to cruise off by itself, right? So you don't have to go bang, 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 thank you, we have an amen, please. There may be occasions where you want to go bang, bang, I insist on an amen right now, but it's in this particular place, in this service, this is, it's easier. The bow strokes, if you're bowing an instrument, are not going to be hard and marcato. It's the slower and more analog. So, Kevin, you're going to do the pick up to 14. Okay, just do the end of the fun tune, and then take that ending out so that it really functions as the Sof Pasuk finale of this whole thing. Remember, what you're doing here is not just a two-liner, it's the end of Hashkivenu. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah. So take it from Aleinu.
Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Right. And what I like particularly what you did is you didn't, you stayed inside the moment of that. We're going to do a whole lot of staying inside moments, right? But the point is, yeah, you don't just get Yerushalayim, thank you, next. Because your hand. This is not just a vocal line and a musical heritage. You're also handling energy as it's expanding, as you're expanding it into the room.
Yeah. No,
so yay.
I love that. Enjoy the ending, especially this one.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay. Oh boy, it's already 12 o'clock. I'm behind. Okay, 2-minute break, everybody, and then let's get the rest of this assignment in because I want to do the last Nusach before we're done today. Thank you. Woof. Woof. Hey. Now, where were we? Right. Okay. Alexandra, I haven't heard you yet today. We lost you for a minute, I think. I know somebody was missing for a second. I think it was Alexandra. Okay. There's no such thing as too many computer screens to work out of. Okay. And while we're waiting for Alexandra and Ariel to come back. All right. The next game is to pick another piece of text from the service. There's four brachot in Shema V'choteha. Pick one and just do it in Nusach. Alexandra, okay, yeah. We missed. Was it you who were gone a little bit? We missed you a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I didn't do the assignment yet.
Okay, fine. All right, well, thou shalt. Right. This is assignment. Part 2 of the assignment is picking any piece of text that you feel like doing, and let's daven a little bit. And Rachel, you're on, followed by Lisa.
Wait, Alexandra, I think, hasn't done the first part yet, so.
Yeah, she's Alexandra is, but she's a little behind the eight. Alexandra, did I understand correctly that you weren't able
I just
to do this?
was walking my dog, so I didn't get back in time, but I can do.
Okay, you can do the assignment. Okay,
Yeah.
Rachel, hold off, please. Okay, sorry, I wasn't. It was the dog walking that I kind of missed out.
I'm sorry. 03B. Sorry.
Umavdil.
Adonai tzvot shemo Elchai v'kayam tamid yemloch aleinu le'olam vad Baruch Baruch atah Adonai
Lovely, thank you. Yay. Right. Right. Okay. I'm going to reiterate. I'm going to be probably saying this over and over again because as we go through these various nusachs over these many that we're going to be spending together, I have in different nusachs any number of preset settings that I have written out, and I remind everyone they are there. I mean, if you want to actually use that particular setting in shul, it's there because it's in, it works. And the ultimate game is what each individual artist brings to the table, and this then has to do with how you handle it and how you make your own statements within this framework. Just saying, okay? I'll be saying that every few weeks for the next couple of years. Don't worry. Okay. Rachel, and then Lisa. Assignment 2 is your own version. Arr.
Can I ask a question about our own version?
Yeah.
I'm just not so. What I did this time is I just picked different phrases from the sheet.
Uh-huh.
So my question is, how much freedom do I have?
That's a good question.
You don't need an answer. Just
The answer is yes. You have a tremendous amount of creative freedom within the medium, and you also have the freedom to stretch the medium as long as you are based somehow in the medium. And at a certain point, it becomes just a little bit fuzzy. In baseball, at the edge of the left field, right field, there's such a thing as a foul line. Okay, and if it's in the foul line, it's in fair play, and if it's over the foul line, forget it, right? Okay, and it doesn't count. In this language, the vowel lines are kind of fuzzy. So, I don't want to say that you can only do this and don't do anything else, because that's a hard, a very gavura vowel line. Things are mutable. There is room for stretching in all of this. What the thing to do is to have the basics down really solid, and then go with your own inspiration. As long as and if it's really, like if it's no longer on planet Earth and you're on, somewhere on the other side of Neptune, I'll tell you.
Okay, fair enough.
Yay. Okay, so Rachel, you're on.
Okay, I'll be doing Mi Chamocha Durga Al Yisrael. I'm sure we're gonna hear a lot of that today. Okay. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norati Lo Dosei Feled, Malchutecha Uvanecha, Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe, Zeli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed, V'Nemar Ki Vadai Adonai Et Yaakov. Oh, V'Nemar.
No, keep going. You're doing great. You're doing beautiful. Just sing. No. No second guessing.
What?
No second guessing. Just keep going.
Okay. Ukalo mi'achazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael.
Amen. Yeah, awesome piece of work there. Okay, just a couple of thoughts. Okay, one, moving backwards here, with all of this kind of really intensive stretching you're doing, then you don't. My quick take, 'cause this is all subjective, okay, is that you don't want to make a super simple ending after you've done this beautiful, bouquet of flowers. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. I would, if you're going to do, this is an interpretive issue. If you're going to do some stretching, musical stretching like you did before, which is fab, then you got to keep the stretch going.
Well,
You can't just say, okay, stretch, now I'm going to do a simple ending.
this leads me to a super general question then, because I thought that the Chatimot in a Nusach were kind of set, like that we have to hit that one melody at the end. We don't?
No, okay. Well, you take a look at any of these charts. Yeah, some of them have that ba bum ba 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 bum ba bum ba 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 ba. Okay, that's kind of like the nut, right? But there's all sorts of other things you could do. So okay, so your understanding was a little bit at variance with what I'm telling you, which is you have a lot more freedom. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Instead of Baruch atah Adonai or something. Yeah? Let your creativity hang out. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Now, moving backwards, this is an interesting section insofar as it's back and forth with the Chazan and congregation. Right, and you did Micha Mocha straight in Nusach, which is conceivable. I mean, it's like, of course, Micha Mocha is one of the places where we all do some tune, right? And whatever it may be, but you chose to do it straight in Nusach, which is possible. It is possible to train a congregation to do Mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedal ba'kodesh, Norat hilot osei fele. Okay. Oh, by the way, and you went to the two, and osei fele, right? No, so if you're going to do that, and I'm not being prescriptive, I'm just saying if you decide that you would like to teach everybody to sing in Nusach a little bit, which is a good thing, then as an alternative, there's any number of michamochas, right? Then you've got a cadence to the one at the end. Yeba ay 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 ay. That's your anchor. That's home plate, right? And the other piece, Malchutcha Rovonecha Bokei Hayom Lifnei Moshe, which you did beautifully. The Ze'eli. At that point, I would go to the two. Okay, because that sets up the congregation to do Adonai Yimloch Leolam Va'ed. So Ze'eli Anu Ve'amru, which is, you can see my finger. You guys are going to sing now. Adonai Yimloch Leolam Va'ed. Aside from that, nice work. Thanks. Okay, Lisa, next.
Okay, I hope I did this right, but so I just went through the Friday night prayer and looked at the different Hatimas. Baruch Atah Ha'el Kakadosh, does that count?
Ooh, that's in the Amidah.
Yes.
Okay, that would let's say it's okay for this class. I'm not sure if you would use it in a service, but I wouldn't rule it out. It's in the Amidah. The Amidah is not done out loud in most non-reform shuls, but
I didn't quite know where to look.
hey, Lisa, do it. Go for it. Let's see how it works.
I'll try my best. Okay. Ata kadosh v'shemcha kadosh kedoshim b'chol yom. Now, hold on. Chalu hasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el Kadosh.
Interesting work. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. The application of this would be if you are doing the first part of the Amidah out loud, which is standard procedure in Reform shuls. Am I correct, Lauren? Yeah. Okay. And one question would be, after you've done the Avot and Gevurot thing, Mechayim Eitim, to continue to do Atah Kadosh, which is Kedushat Hashem. It's a very important bracha. In the Friday night Nusach might be an interesting way of kind of rounding out what you're doing in a service if you're doing that style service. So it's totally possible. Now, you used the weird phrase, for lack of a better term. It was a little late. You set it up right before Baruch, and that made that the transition into Baruch wasn't smooth. So we're going to do it again, and try it this way. Okay, Ata Kadosh v'shimecha Kadosh. Not too much text here to work with. Ukedoshim bechol yom yehaleluch hasela Okay, leading up to Baruch, ending on the 2, I think is important because that's the setup for the energy of the bracha itself. Ay, 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 ay.
Okay.
So remember what we said before earlier in this class that the weird motif is kind of like an early setup for a bracha cadence. So I just yam ba 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 ya ba 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 or ba 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 ba. Either the 2 or the subtonic 5 is where do you go to Baruch. So it's Yehaluch Hasela or Yehaluch Hasela and Baruch Atah Adonai Amalel HaKadosh, which was gorgeous.
So when
So
you say 2, you mean going to the A if I'm in the key it's written in.
if you're in G,
Yeah, so I'm going to
yeah, the 2 the 2 is a okay. This takes us into music theory. It's a lot of music, most music, or as Hankus would say, all music is in 2. It's downbeats and offbeats, or tension points and resolution points. In this particular case, going to the 2 of a scale, you're in minor, or if you're in major, okay, is a tension point which has to be resolved by ending up at the 1. So if you're going to ya da 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 ya ba ba ba, now you could do this over and over. Ya da da dum da 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 dum da 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 da, and me, Joe listener, will start becoming uncomfortable because I'm not getting resolution. Okay, it's like I'm hanging out at third base and never coming home again. Right? So ya ba 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 ba. So you can hear the 2-1-2-1 back and forth in this particular scale is one of the features. Yeah, ba 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 ba. Yeah, okay, ya da 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 ya da. Amen. And that's the release is that final thing that comes down to the end. This is something we're going to see all over the place. Well, we've seen it already in the stuff we've done so far, only it hasn't been as pronounced. Where you go to that really thing that tension point that then has to be resolved.
Okay, I'm ready.
You want to try it again?
I do.
All right.
Ata kadosh v'shemcha kadosh ukedoshim b'chol yom.
Bechol.
Alleluia, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen. Nice work. Yeah. One of your notes in the middle was a little off. Don't worry about it. And you left a word out, but don't worry about that either. Okay. It's Yehaluch Hasela. You left Sela out. Okay. Aside from that, you're cool. That's nice work. Thank you, Lauren. Then Rhonda.
Okay, so end of Milchamocha starting with Vidna Amar.
Sure.
Kept it short.
Go for it.
Sad how long it took me to figure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well,
All
you
right.
know, this actually, by the way, everybody, this is one of those places which is a perfect paradigm for the back and forth of the Chazan and the congregation. Yeah. Okay. So, go for it.
Sure. V'ne'emar ki v'da Adonai et Yaakov et Yaakov.
You're doing great. You're doing Kina. Don't stop.
I was like,
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Miyad Chazak Mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Yisrael.
Yes. Amen. Thank you. Right on. Okay, Rhonda. Then Caitlin.
Okay. I did the end of um, Ma'ariv, so starting with Ma'ariv.
Okay. Rhonda, is your original sound on? Your voice is a little off, or just not on your microphone?
My original sound is on.
Okay, in that case, you're on.
Okay. Ma'ariv yom mevil laila, u'matzil bein yom uvein laila. Adonai tzvaot shamo, El Chai v'kayam tamid. Yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen. Nice solid nusach. Yay. The parsing of words you want to watch, it's a funny thing. Sometimes you could say one word goes with one word, or then it goes with the next word after it. You know, there's sometimes some meaning interpretation. The typical phrasing is El Chai v'kayam, point, Tamid yimloch aleinu. Now you could conceivably say what you did. El Chai v'kayam tamid yim. Tamid, okay, like perfect and eternal. But the standard understanding is El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch. Okay, just mark it with a
And
pencil.
Aleinu v'Kol Yisrael together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although-
Thank you.
I'll say I think it may be a reform thing, Rhonda, because we emphasize tamid as well. That's how we phrase it too.
That might have just been like in my head over years. I don't know. Okay.
Okay. This is one of those cases where you could theoretically go either way, but my understanding of standard usage is the way I expressed it. So, okay. Caitlin, then Ariel.
Okay, I've been working with Ahavat Olam, starting from Kihem Chayenu. Are we going with that key? Okay, let's do it. Kihem Chayenu, ve'orech yomenu, u'ahem nege, yomam v'layla, v'yavatecha lo tachzor mimenu. I'm losing the key right there.
Yep. You lost it.
Yeah.
Let's face it. You lost it. Right? It's because
right.
Yeah, it's because the weird phrase can throw you off. That's the thing. Is okay. It's almost like a modulation. You have no idea how to get home from it. Okay. So listen. The easier way and what's commonly done in lots of shuls is to sing the weird motif on the word ve'ahavatcha, and then go back you regular nusach. So it would be ve'ahavatcha,
and then start
over. What are we going to do?
Okay.
Could you take it from ve'ahavatcha and then take it out and don't be shy.
Okay.
You can also take it lower. No, no. Ay 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 ay. Good luck with that. Interesting echo. Yeah. Okay. What you did was fine, and this is a small move in one direction. I lean towards going to the 2 on Le'olamim, so that sets up the tension going into Baruch. Le'olamim, then Baruch atah, or whatever you're going to do with the bracha.
Okay.
Okay. Aside from, what you did was perfectly reasonable. I think it's a little more emotionally effective to set up a bit of a tension that then is resolved.
Okay.
Talking details. Okay. Oh boy. I'll tell you what. We're behind on the clock a little bit here, and so I'd like to, rather than go around the room and make everybody jump through the hoops of parts 3 and 4 of the assignment.
Wait, I haven't gone yet.
Hmm?
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, Ariel and Kevin Alexandra. Sorry, that's what I get for looking at the wrong screen. Ariel, you're on. Then Kevin.
Okay, so I'm doing the last bit of Hashkivenu, starting with
Okay.
Ki El Shomreinu.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because, we talk about a sukkah, so it seems
Oh,
appropriate.
yeah. Well, this is, right. It's perfectly nice. Go for it.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a lot of text. Oh, ooh.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure how much was enough, so okay. Ki El Shomreinu Matzilenu Hata Ki El Melech Chanun Verachum Ata Ushmor Tzeitenu Uvoenu L'chaim u'Shalom Me'ata ve'ad olam Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shelomecha Baruch atah Adonai Haporei Sukkot Shalom aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Oh, nice work. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Everything is fab, and like me'ata ve'ad olam. You went to the 1. You took it out, which is okay within a section, except it was like super simple dimple, and you could have used the Nusach stuff. Don't forget, there's a lot of these little melodic ideas all the way through the liturgy that function as kind of like anchor things. Ayay, 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 ayay. It's kind of like what I recognize, what sort of keeps me with you. You could have me'ata ve'ad olam, right?
Meaning kind of like make it a little more flowery, because I also wasn't sure about that. I mean, I was basing it off of the sequence number 9.
You did fine. Only that particular point you could have used. It's not really flowery. It's that particular nusach and ay. One thing about this nusach, by the way, and there's other places like in Shochenat in the morning that are much more flowery. Though you do all sorts of melodic development, have all sorts of fun. This stuff is not very flowery. It's got here's this and here's that, and it's got its own power. Okay, and we talked about this. What's the point of using this particular nusach, in a Friday night service? In all too many places, in all too many shuls, we have a whole lot of fun with Kabbalat Shabbat. We jump up and down, we dance around the room, and then suddenly somebody goes, Baruch et Adonai hamavorach. Okay, like fun is over. Now we can be boring again, right? So, and we talked about this. One of the folks in another class I was in said, descent into mystery. So it's sort of like deep and simple, like still water runs deep kind of a thing. Right? So there's that. And also, by the way, the weird phrase you threw in right before Baruch. Mm-hmm. And what I say to you is the same thing that I forget who I was saying to just a minute ago. You want to use that thing earlier, right? And so you can go Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha.
Okay, so like have more of a buffer because it's number 11 and then the Chatima is 13. So I thought it was
Yeah, right. So yeah, but that is what I am saying.
okay. Okay, use it earlier.
It's right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ariel, now that you're still on the hot seat, let's take it. Seeing it is Sukkot, can you do the Chatima Baruch and here, turn yourself loose a little bit and take that Hapores Sukkot Shalom and just see where the melody will take you. Okay, here's the trick. Okay, is let the words decide how they would like to be sung in this moment.
Okay.
Not what Nusach am I going to use. Okay, take it from Baruch.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Yeah. Simple can be good. Yeah, especially if you're delivering the meaning. All right, thank you. Yeah, Kevin, then Alexander.
I'm doing the same section.
Go for it.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai Hapore sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Interesting. I don't want to step on anybody's creative toes. First thing he's doing, Kevin, mute yourself, will you? Thank you. Okay, because from your equipment, we're getting, I'm getting a feedback, and I hate listening to myself. So, I also hate everything I've ever recorded, but that's another story. Right. So listen. Baruch atah Adonai. You use as a tension point. You use the leading tone, the sharp 7 that goes to the tonic. Ya ba ba, and then ba ba. I'm afraid I must inform you, my friend, that is actually out of Nusach. Okay, this is the tension point is going to the 2. Ya pa 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 pa. Do Baruch atah Adonai again, please, and go to the 2.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Okay, you made it.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Right. Okay.
Hapore sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael
ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
I can live with that one. Amen. Yeah. Okay, you get the point?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, nice work. Okay, Alexandra.
I want to butt in.
Oh,
for
Diana, go ahead.
That would be an especially nice setting for if Yom Kippur falls on Shabbos evening. It's I was picking up a little motif there. So a little echo. in
Yeah,
Hashgacha.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, we're getting a little bit of holiday Nusach crossover here. Moving right along.
Can I say one
Yeah,
quick thing about it?
yeah, sure.
So, I play the piano when I'm learning these things. And so the out there phrase is kind of just everything goes up a whole step to the
Something
second.
like that, right? And it's
You
sort of
go-
related to to a melodic minor cadence, okay? But putting such a fancy label on it is already giving it a little too much credit. It's just a weird thing. It goes out and it comes back in.
But I just want to say that there seems to be a relationship between the fact that it goes from the G minor, it goes up to the A, which is the second, which we keep landing on at the end.
Uh huh.
Something very secondness
Right.
underneath.
It's a funny piece of modality, and it's a little non sequitary, which is why it becomes musically interesting to throw it in, right? Because it's out of scale. I mean, it's like it's from. You could almost say it's from some other nusach that somewhere in the 15th century somebody said, "Well, I'm just going to sing it like this and put it in," and everybody picked it up, or something like that. It's really. It's unusual. Actually, it's unusual to have things that are so out from the Nusach. The stuff we've seen so far, the Adonai Malach and the minor thing that's right before Nafil Chadodi, are don't have stuff like that. Okay, they're pretty much in scale. This is just what it is. Okay, Alexandra.
Okay, is it okay to do Sim Shalom, like the end of it?
Sure. This would be a case in point. Although, as I said, the Amida is not typically done out loud, but there's no reason not to do it as part of a service. And if you're going to use the Ma'ariv Nusach, well, go for it.
Okay.
Are
I was
you- are-
gonna
Sure.
start maybe Ki Ve'or Panecha.
Okay,
Is that a good start?
please.
Ki Ve'or Panecha Nata. No, that doesn't go right.
Natatalanu.
Yeah, those go all together though. Natatalanu Adonai Elohim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ki Ve'or Panecha Natatalanu Adonai Eloheinu Torat Haim Ve'ahavat Hased.
The words are Torat Chayim ve'ahavat Chesed. It's a nice, clean, couplet thing. Torat Chayim ve'ahavat Chesed. Okay, you do it.
Thank you. Torat Haim ve'ahavat Chesed U'tzedakah u'veracha ve'rachamim ve'haim ve'shalom ve'tov be'einecha levar arik et amcha Israel bechol av uvchol sha'av v'shlomecha.
Aha, right here. B'chol bishlomecha. Go to that thing and then Baruch.
Uvechol sha'av v'shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai. Amariv et amo Yisrael v'shalom.
Hamvarech, I believe, is the word. Yeah, you
Yes.
missed
I'm
the word.
looking at
Okay.
a different book than
Okay.
usual. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. But I know this. This is. Is this the Reform book? The way they do it in that.
Well, I'm
particular-
practicing looking at the silver, so it's just smaller and dark in my room. But I appreciate.
Okay, whatever.
all of- when I read
Whatever.
fast, it's not
I'm
always
not
right.
worried about that. I'm interested in how you express the text with a good melodic flow. Okay, so yeah, you're doing good work. we're done with this. Okay, we're going to move along. But the last thing I'm going to say about this nusach is what makes it hang together. I'm sorry. Are people picking up background noise? I've got road construction out there. I'm sorry about that. The way what makes this thing work is the back and forth tension of the two and the one. And a lot of this other ya pa pum pum pa 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 pum pum pa 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 pa. Okay, so which is why I was going to say, oh my God, that's so noisy. Bishlomecha. All right, is the tension poised, and then you Baruch Ata Adonai. Okay, so that's just to keep in mind. I think everybody has the right idea, and we're going to move along. The 04 series, please. Eventually, maybe for next time we're going to drop back, and I've got a couple of cool alternative melodies, like there's an Italian Chatzi Kaddish, etc. This is noisy, isn't it? Okay, can you guys handle that much background noise?
It's
Sorry.
definitely not as bad for us as it is for you. It sounds like someone running a vacuum 2 rooms away.
Okay, it's actually a humongous piece of construction equipment, you know.
It has really great sound filters.
Thank you. Okay, fine, cool. All right.
I just have to say, I might have to change computers for some reason. My computer is jammed up and not opening that other.
Okay, all right, so listen down. We only have 12 minutes for this class, so I'm behind on my plan. We're going to, what I would like to do, there's a couple of things here, like how to do Vishamru, how to do Chatzi Kaddish, etc. I would like to jump past, there's 03 F and G. There's also a folder called Friday Night Misk Supplement that has a few other possibility alternative melodies. I'd like to hit that next time, and I'd like to move to the 04 series, which is it's called, we call it here the Magen Avot Nusach, and just it's a funny thing, if you are in contact with other folks who have taken Nusach or teach it, the term Magen Avot is by some folks used as anything in minor. The Magen Avot mode is the minor scale. As we can see, that can be really pretty confusing because there's a whole bunch of different Nusachs all over the course of the year that use minor. So we don't do that. To make it simple, Magen Avot, the term is applied to this particular Nusach. It is the 4th Nusach of the whole Friday night service, and it applies, just like the others, to just do a few pages. Okay, and this is chart 04A. Okay, well, if you can't, Lisa, if you can't open it, just listen down. You've got great ears. You'll catch on. Okay. Now, your basic scale. Does everybody but Lisa have it open? Okay, good. Okay, basic natural minor. Yom ba 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 ba. All right. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. There are two things that make this that give it a unique identity. One is the use of relative major, which we'll see in other places, but it's pretty clear. And the other is that there is a I should have marked this chart a little more exactly. There is a majority opinion ending, and then there is a minority opinion ending. Okay, the majority opinion ending, the main ending we'll look at is that goes to the 5 of the scale. It does not cadence back to the tonic. That's motifs 10, 11, and 12. Okay, there's also the possibility of cadencing to the tonic at the instead of the going to the 5, which is numbers 8 and 9. Okay, and this uses your minor to relative major relationship. Yum bum. What's my note? Ooh, right on it. Okay. Yum ba 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 bum. Then you got that similar to the minor Nusach right after Kabbalat Shabbat. Yum ba ba ba. And then you have a whole thing that goes on here in the relative minor. Yum, yum, ba, 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 ba. Yad, ya. I assume you're singing along with me. Yad, I, da, yad, 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 da, 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 ay, 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 or ya, 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 then ay, 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 ay. 11 stretches it. Ay, 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 ay. And 12 really opens it up. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. I expect by this time that you guys have your ears have started getting fine-tuned enough you can hear the uniqueness of this relatively simple group of motifs. So you can see it's not a big, long, complicated chart. It's just like what it is. It applies in a relatively small area. I'm going to skip 4B and C, which is Vaychulu, but if you take a look at 4D, let's take a look.
Do we use this? Where exactly do we use this? Between what and what?
This, okay, Birkat Mein Sheva, after the Amida on Friday, well, it says very specifically, Vaychulu, before, well, some people do Vishamru like this also, but anyway, after the Amida, there are 2 pages of text. It's only a few things. It's the paragraph Vaychulu, the kind of short version of the Avot, the text Magen Avot, and on the next page in Silverman, this Silverman 26 and 27, the paragraph Eloheinu. Structurally, this whole thing is it's called Me'ein Sheva. It's a kind of compressed, shorty repetition of the Amida. As you can see on page 26, the second paragraph is a short version of Avot, and then it's got it's Magen Avot Bidbaro, the next paragraph, Mechaye Meitim, and then Ha'el HaKadosh. It kind of runs you through the Amida and ends up on the second page, page 27. That paragraph ends Mekadesh HaShabbat, ends with Kedushat Hayom. So that's what we're looking at. Lots of places skip this, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea. Rachel?
So you're saying that Magen Avot begins, does it begin in the middle of 26 with Baruch Atah?
Let's say it begins at the top of 26.
Okay, got it.
Okay? However, the example here is Baruch. And the fact is, a lot of people, because they don't know better, do this in the Shabbat morning melody, Baruch Atah Adonai. Okay? There is a Nusach for this, folks. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so everybody read and sing along with me. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב. האל הגדול והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ. It's kind of cool in its own way. It's got its own identity. Okay, so and of course what you have here is version 2, which, as you can imagine, is a little bit stretched out. There's O4E is the near universal common congregational Magen Avot. The conservative shuls sing all over the solar system. Right? There is a Hasidic, I think it's Chabad, Magen Avot, which is actually much more upbeat and less of a chestnut. There is a melody for O4G, which is a congregation we all sing together. And then there is a couple of endings. There's 5 possible endings for the ending of that paragraph at the top of page 27. There's also a simple version of Vaychulu O4J, which is the way some folks do it. There's several different ways of doing Vaychulu, and this is one that you will hear occasionally. It's not a rhythmic folk melody. It's solid, good old-fashioned this Nusach. Vaychulu hashamayim ve'aretz v'chol tzeva'am. This would be a case in point where congregations, yes, listen, typically you think there's 2 categories. There's the solo out-of-time stuff we do, and then there's the in-time stuff that everybody sings to. This is neither. This is out-of-time Nusach that becomes communal melody. It's a crossover place. So, and on that note, I'm going to wish everybody have a lovely week. I'll be sending out an assignment. Lisa, I hope you can get your computer to work. And here comes Simchas Torah. We'll all have a good time. I don't know how you guys do Simchat Torah. What I've been doing for a number of years is, and it's not classical structural stuff, at Simchat Torah evening, we take 2 scrolls and lay them out on a long table, and have one scroll open to the very end, to the ending, okay, and with English, of course, right? But go to the end, et leinei kol Yisrael, chazak chazak v'nitchazek, and the next scroll is set to Bereshit. So you do an absolute segue from the end of one scroll, and you just start the Torah right over again. It's if you get a chance to do something like that in your shul, I've found it to be a very effective technique. Assuming that your rabbis will agree to it, Caitlin.